Hey Marion, I wanted to go over your responses here. I appreciate you getting it in early, and I appreciate you giving such a great response and not just doing the bare minimum. So good job with that. I like that I'm going to touch on a couple of things here. In your physical delivery, you mentioned that he appeared confident, so I want to talk about that a little bit. So when you give your speeches in this class, you're going to get to choose your topic, your subject matter that you give your speech over. And so you always want to make sure that you choose topics that you know really well, that you're closely connected to, and that you're passionate about. Because if so, then you're going to have an easier time giving the speech for multiple reasons. One, you're going to be able to memorize it easier because you're going to be able to just talk about it. And then you're going to be more confident about it. You're going to be more confident talking about stuff that you know as opposed to picking a random topic and trying to give a speech over something you know nothing about or you care very little about. And so when you have that confidence, then that portrays the passion that he had here. So he was very confident in that subject matter, and so that in turn resulted in such a passionate speech. And then that in turn resulted in him having such strong delivery in all aspects. So when you go forth in this class, really put thought into your topic selection so you can have that confidence and that passion and that strong delivery. And I don't expect you to go over the top like what he did, but think about one or two things that you could take away from that speech and implement it into yours. Is it his body language that you talked about? You say he moved around the room. Let's see, I'm reading it over here, that's why I keep looking back and forth. Where are we back here? So you talked about his hand gestures and his body language, and you talked about it, being a little bit distracting, and I can see that a little bit, but I'm glad that you say that, because think about what would have been less distracting, and maybe that's something that you could implement. Is it just moving your hands a little bit? Is it just walking around the room a little bit? You don't have to be as dynamic and over the top, because think about how you received it. So what would you have received better had he toned it down a little bit, had he not moved around as much? So maybe you can take just the hand gestures a little bit and try to do that. Think about his vocal delivery, some of the things that you mentioned, how he changed his tone. He got a little bit more loud, then more soft. And so keep all of that in mind, and don't try to tackle it all at once, but just take one or two things, and then the next speech maybe add one or two other things, and see where you can take your delivery. So you're off to a good start, and we'll see you tomorrow.